Denali is going to go back to McKinley. And so there's a kind of, he's living up to his campaign pledge, but it's sort of punitive. It reminded me when FDR did win in 1933, early on, he took Herbert Hoover's name off the Hoover Dam and put Boulder Dam on it to punish.
And there now, President-elect Donald Trump, along with President Biden, entering into the motorcade together. And this is a tradition for the presidents to ride together to the swearing-in ceremonies, a tradition that has endured with a few exceptions since 1837, when Martin Van Buren and Andrew Jackson rode together, like I mentioned earlier, in a carriage made from wood taken from the USS Constitution. And as we noted, too, the First Ladies are in a different motorcade, the Vice President and Vice President-elect in a different motorcade. This opportunity for them to ride together at this momentous time from the White House to the Capitol before this peaceful transfer of power. And Senator Roy Blunt has been part of this in the past as part of the inaugural committee. Senator?
Well, I have. I was able to make that ride with President Trump and President Obama before. I've also always wondered, I've been at several inaugurations now, what moment does the current president feel the lifting of weight? And I think you can almost visibly see it if you look as the new president takes the oath of office. At what moment does that happen? Sometime we mentioned earlier President Obama having something in his that he would read if he needed to because of disruption. I remember at one point during the inauguration outside, which I think is a great but vulnerable moment for the government, we were rehearsing. I said to the chief military guy there who was helping me, your job, if we have to leave this podium early, if we have to leave this platform early, your job is to see that somebody goes with the president, preferably the Chief Justice, the president-elect, if the president hasn't been sworn in yet, that can swear him in at 12 o'clock. If we've had to leave the platform early, I don't want any question as to who's the president that has to make those decisions from 12 o'clock on.
Wow.
If you just look at this motorcade right now and you think it was nearly 10 years ago that Donald Trump came down that golden escalator at Trump Tower, and what has happened in that near decade since. And it was only in late May of this year he was convicted in a New York court. It was only in July he survived an assassination attempt. And now, January 20th, 2025, he's about to be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. What a political journey, something we have not ever seen before in American history, and we're now witnessing it in real time.
And getting it from Joe Biden, too. Just think about that, the power from Joe Biden going back to Donald Trump in this moment, too. It's fascinating to see.
Douglas Brinkley mentioned FDR. If President Trump completes this term, he will have dominated the politics of the country longer than any other person ever, and as long as FDR, who was president for 12 years. And it's an amazing, amazing thing to be on every issue, every day. Your opinion matters, whether he's in the White House or not, is extraordinary.
Especially when you think how he started, people thought he has no chance. You know, isn't he the guy from The Apprentice? I remember in the beginning they called him the celebrity candidate who had no shot.
Gail, remember some reporter, some paper wanted to cover it on the entertainment.
Entertainment, yes, I do remember that.
There was a big argument about whether it was on the political page or whether you covered Trump on the entertainment page.
For me, the moment that, Bob, as you were conjuring this political comeback, when Trump left after Biden was inaugurated, Trump said, and he's going, first of all, he's leaving at Andrews. There's nobody there except for his family. And he says, goodbye, we love you, we will be back in some form. This is the form.
And as we watch President Biden and President-elect Trump heading to Capitol Hill, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching CBS News coverage of Donald Trump's inauguration. We'll be right back.